When you think of angels, you probably get an image in your head of little fluffy winged creatures sitting on top of clouds, merrily strumming away at their harps. But in actual fact, it couldn't really be further from the truth. When we look to the Bible, we often see angels represented as pretty terrifying creatures. From wheels covered in eyes to flaming warriors, they really aren't the little fluffy cherubs that we often see depicted in Renaissance paintings. In fact, when they do appear in more human forms, they often are so overwhelming to the people that they appear to that their first words are, "Do not be afraid." It was some of that awe that I wanted to capture in my designs for angels to populate my fantasy world, but with a unique twist or two. So let me take you on the journey of how I created my own angels. My name is Ethan, and I'm building a fantasy world called Taro. I've been building this world for several years now, and when I first began the process, I knew that I was going to need a mythology and a story of creation to make the world feel deep and grounded and realistic. I didn't start with angels though. In fact, to begin with, I had a pretty cliche pantheon of gods, but I'd just seen it done so many times that I wanted to put my own spin on things, and I wanted something that would fit the themes and ideas that I wanted to explore in my world a bit better than just your traditional cut and paste of Zeus or Thor and the pantheon of gods surrounding them. Along the way, my ideas changed, and I eventually settled on a central creator god. And from that, the Sylariad were born. The Sylariad are my world's version of angels, and I wanted to convey that level of terrifying yet holy, incomprehensible, powerful supernatural beings. The way ancient people must have felt about the angels described in the Bible, I wanted to give that to the inhabitants of my world. And so I set about making 12 beings of pure energy who helped to shape the universe itself. As I began to develop them, and alongside developing my magic system, I pretty quickly realised I wanted the two to intertwine. Now, of course, this posed its own challenges and problems, and I was left scratching my head on more than one occasion, thinking, how could I link them? How could I leave some mystery, something to explore within my writing, but also what would make sense to someone just discovering this for the first time? And honestly, it's those kind of problems that I love about world building. Creating this world has been more than just sketches and writing for me. It's like a gigantic 10,000 piece puzzle, and every time you're putting those pieces together and you get something that clicks, it's just the best. But of course, there's no real blueprint to world building, so you're trying to build this 10,000 piece puzzle, but you've got no picture on the box to go by, just whatever your imagination can drum up. But it really has given me purpose, passion, and something to pour my creativity and imagination into. Anyway, back to the Sylariad. Sylariad means sculpt in the common tongue of my world. They're not just guardians or mythical beings, though. They were made by the creator before the beginning of the universe, and they dwell with him in the beyond, which is a realm past our comprehension or understanding. They helped the creator to design and build the world, fabricating the very laws of existence to the creator's will. My original idea for the Sylariad, or sculpts, was a race of marble-like beings, something akin to maybe Tolkien's elves, graceful and ethereal. But as I began to develop the Sylariad idea and had this sculpt idea, I soon realised that if I wanted something that was supernatural and also that was sculpting the world, then surely these two ideas could merge. And so it was like putting those puzzle pieces together. It just clicked. I had that light bulb moment, and I realised that, hang on, these are one thing that I'm building here. The marbled statue-like presence that I had designed for the sculpts actually sat so well with the terrifying ethereal feel that I wanted for the Sylariad. We all know just how terrifying stone angels can be. See every British child who was traumatised by the Doctor Who episode of the Weeping Angels. Don't blink. And as I mentioned, all of the Sylariads are kind of related to the magic system of my world and embody a type of energy. The thumbnail and the drawings I've been doing in this video are of Velethar, who represents electricity. In my world's mythology, her womb bore lightning and storms. She seeded the winds and gave rise to the rains. But that isn't all she brought to Taro, for she is also the source of emotion. Love and lust, joy and madness, all woven together in tangled tempests. To design her, I kept the base look of that marble statue, then added some wings to give her an angelic feel, and of course she needed to show the energy she represented, so I gave her the lightning hair as well as the crackles of it across her body. I haven't finished designing every Sylariad yet, but I know somehow they will reflect their domain and appearance, whether it be light, heat or motion. And then of course we have the unknown. Well, even in the lore of Taro, the unknown is an ancient prophecy, and no one really knows the true meaning of it. Maybe it's just not yet ready to be revealed. So that's the Sylariad, my reimagining of angels, 12 beings of incomprehensible power who give magic to the mortals of my world. But this is just barely scratching the surface of the world that I've been building. In future videos, we'll dive into the magic system in a bit more detail. We'll look at some races, locations, and lots of other lore that I've got stashed away. So if that sounds good to you, please do hit that subscribe button and keep updated for any future updates about Taro. Thanks for watching until the end. Drop a tree emoji down in the comments below. It'll make sense for the next video if you got this far. And I'll catch you next time. God bless.